And we are live. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Point Three Podcast. The podcast before the podcast, before the podcast. Just kidding. Before the podcast, episode 8, end of Junegeddon. Guys, how did June feel for you?
Man, it went by so quick.
Dude, this month flew. I feel like it was just Memorial Day weekend, and now next week is freaking July 4th. Like, makes no sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's good that we have a chance to kind of step back and have a minute to breathe. That's kind of how I feel, especially doing what we do. It's been prep and review, preview, review. And now we're kind of settling back in before August hits us with another bump in the system. We have a few things to talk about, but I do want to run down what we are going to talk about in our podcast. If you are watching this on YouTube or you've seen it on our Instagram or TikTok and you ended up on this video, definitely go and check out Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, episode 6 and episode 7 that we did for season 1, the Flash preview and the Flash review. Flash is not going away anytime soon. It's not necessarily positive, but I think we did a really, really good job of just adding to the experience. And if you're someone who loved Flash, check it out, because I think from our perspective, it'll give some good insight. But if you're someone who is just really curious, like, what did I just watch? Go listen to both. And I think by the time you're done listening, you're going to feel really good about who the Flash really is, and probably be excited to see him again in the future for the next attempt that they take in from a live action standpoint. But I want to start with something real quick. Have you guys gotten a chance to check out the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem previews, the cast? I mean, what have you guys heard about it so far? Because I really feel like it's because Junegeddon happened, it's kind of flying under the radar.
Yeah. I haven't personally seen any reviews. I don't know if it's out or if there's an embargo on it or anything. I have seen, though, the previews, the trailers. They look pretty good. I'm excited for the movie. I like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, TMNT. The Michael Bay ones, the first one was pretty good. I've actually never seen the second one, and I didn't hear great things about it. But I like the old movies, so I'm excited for this one. And the fact that it's taking such heavy inspiration from a movie that is very, very successful, I think bodes well for this movie.
I'm excited for it. I love TMNT. Growing up, I was always watching the show, playing with the toys, dressing up at the freaking headbands as different ones. So it's nice to see them putting in a lot of work to try to produce a great movie. Like, you could tell they went a whole different route with the animation and realized that after seeing what Spider-Verse did, they need to change it up. And I think this animation style is perfect to represent like the TMNT and their whole ordeal.
Yeah, man. I think this just goes down to, if you guys aren't familiar and you're listening to this, there are a few questions that we always ask. We asked ourselves first, and then we kind of took it to the podcast. But how does it explore? We usually do multiverse. How does it explore characters? Does it set a trend? What are the looks, the characters, all these things? And your top tier movies are the movies that kind of really do something new and unprecedented. You kind of set the stage for the next to kind of pick up what they left off with, and it kind of changes this animated genre. It's very cool, and I think TMNT can do something that is missing from DC. I don't want to rag on DC or anything, but just the thought that goes into these characters, how they try to connect it to the real world, pull in these voice actors who are very relevant. Like, it just feels like it's a passion project.
I was gonna say the same thing. It feels like almost like a love letter to TMNT because
Yeah.
they're bringing out the deep cut characters, even for TMNT fans like Mono Gecko and somebody else that it's forgetting my name, and that just tells you how deep cut they are. They're going into the fandom. I did see people complain about it originally, their designs. I personally like the designs of the turtles. I think the turtles look good.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool to see an interpretations of the turtles where they're actually just teenagers, because we've never seen that. They always act like more grown up, like 19, ish.
Yeah.
We never got that 13, 14 childlike Ninja Turtle, so it's cool to see that. I will say the only negative that I personally don't like design wise is Splinter. I think Splinter looks really ugly, which might be the point. He's a rat, but normally I associate Master Splinter with cool, and I don't get that.
Right.
But it's Jackie Chan at least, so maybe
he'll do some cool things. I think he'll definitely do some cool stuff. And minimal.
I know they're so young, but I feel like they should be a little like buffier.
I think it gives them
they
room.
They don't got the. I don't know. I guess that's the point for starting them off so young.
I think if they do, I don't know. My interpretation of when they say they're leaning more into the mutant element than ever before, I think this gives them a chance to grow a little bit, kind of maybe beef up with some training. They eat some more pizza. They're obviously going to change a little bit and do some of those things. But
little dirty bulk going.
Yeah. I think you could at least like squeak a trilogy out of this, and it kind of gave them a little bit of room to grow visually, so you can see kind of that time difference depending on what they mapped out in their own little secret room over there with Seth Rogen and squad. So who knows? Did you guys watch anything good this week?
I watched The Incredible Hulk, which, hint, hint, nudge, nudge from the display back here. But
who do you got? I see Red Hulk.
Yeah, it's Red Hulk.
I'm going widescreen.
Yeah, if you want to widescreen it, it's Red Hulk, the 20th anniversary Marvel Legends Hulk behind that.
Nice.
Then it's a Hulk variant #1 by David Nakayama. It's the only MCU Hulk that I have in my collection. Funny enough, when I was looking through it to make the display, it's the only one I got with the Nano Infinity Gauntlet, and then the Alex Ross, Samuel Stern's The Leader. So, try to put past and possible future for the Hulk. Who knows?
Ooh.
Who knows?
Fun fact.
Boom. Listen, I will say that you'll hear it almost in the pod, and I don't want to give anything away, but Hulk and underrated kind of go together. I think after this movie.
Gosh, man. I'm so excited to talk about this because it's weird, because I think we're at a good spot when it comes to Secret Invasion, which we're also going to be touching on in the podcast. But they're two no, I don't want to say characters, because I think Fury is his own, but like Fury was in the very beginning of the MCU in a way, and so was the Hulk in a way.
I mean, he was, though, because if you think about it, I looked this up before we started the podcast. Hulk 1, The Incredible Hulk, my bad, came out June 13th, 2008. And then Iron Man, May 2nd. So, like a month and 11 days after the release of Iron Man, you got a movie that immediately connects with the last
one. The same year?
They came out the same year within about a month.
That's crazy. I always thought
that's
like
not.
A year apart.
Bro, 2008 was wild, though. If you think about it, we had Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, and The Dark Knight. That was 2008. Little did we know we were getting, like, if we got that stacked lineup right now, I'd be like, oh.
Don't forget Punisher Warzone.
I purposely forgot Punisher Warzone. Sorry. There's only one live action Punisher in my mind.
Yeah. No, but it's cool because you think about the time, right? And you look at how it is. all 4 of those movies, at least I think Punisher is as well. Was that a Sony movie? I think it was. But the point being, all 4 of those movies are coming out from different companies at the time, because The Incredible Hulk is being distributed by Universal. Marvel is going into Disney, I think, at this point, or with Iron Man. And then, DC.
Marvel Studios.
Just the time difference, because now it's just Disney and then DC and then occasionally Sony. But before it was like you got everybody in the mix into their in the comic book, cookie jar.
Yeah. Because even before that, you had Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer, Spider-Man 3, Ghost Rider was 2007, Superman Returns, which I thought was way before 2006, X-Men Last Stand. That was... Everyone was trying to, I think, grab the top spot at this point. And you could probably like bounce back and forth between like Fox. You're just like, oh, Fox is going to come out with another X-Men banger. Now, Deadpool says otherwise. We'll see how that goes. Did we mention this? Why we're going to be talking about the Incredible Hulk?
We have not. We have not.
Do you want to give it so this doesn't feel like it's out of left field? There's a purpose. Point Through Podcast. We don't do things for no reason.
So, really quick, as I stated before, June 13th, 2008, 15-year anniversary. So earlier in the year, last month specifically, it was the 15-year celebration anniversary of the MCU. Disney and Marvel made a post about it with Iron Man 1, but was it last week or the week before?
I think it was last week.
It was last week, right? We got the announcement that The Incredible Hulk would be coming into Disney Plus, which was a big deal because up until then we didn't have this movie. And a lot of people forgot about what this movie was like, including myself. And Disney putting it, I think, did a great thing. And 15th anniversary, man, it's going to be fun when we talk about it more in detail.
Disney Plus. Oh, I just want to throw this in real quick. Do you guys think Disney Plus has improved its standing lately by getting some of these legacy movies added? Like Spider-Man, Venom is on there. Like Tobey's Spider-Man. Then you have, is Andrew on there? Amazing Spider-Man?
He's got one.
Yeah, the first one.
The first one, right? And then what we're still missing, like No Way Home, second one. But all
Just
the Tobeys
No Way
are on
Home. I think. I don't know if Far From Home came out yet, but I know when it was
Homecoming.
It did not come out with Homecoming, but they said eventually it would. It's nice to see Sony being fun for once, spreading their joy elsewhere.
Nah, because Disney's paying. Disney's probably throwing. They probably have some sort of contract where they're making their money putting that on Disney Plus. They're not just giving that away. There's no way Sony's just like, yeah, sure, we'll give you we'll give you these movies.
If they were smart, they'd fork all Marvel productions, even Morbin. That'd actually probably get people to watch it. Do you know how many people probably are just like, oh, when did this come out? And they're just like, I'll watch it. And then the statistics on the watch time are like 50%. It's like weird. This is our lowest viewed movie. Have you guys watched the Disney, the Stan Lee documentary on Disney Plus?
No, I forgot that.
Not yet.
I know. I keep looking at it because we keep watching other things, and I've been meaning to watch it, but I haven't pulled the trigger on it yet.
I'm behind on watching so many things. I still have to. I still have to finish Captain Marvel, or not Captain Marvel. Oh, Miss Marvel.
Oh wow!
I still haven't finished.
Dude. But I understand, because
and She-Hulk.
Hey, for better or worse, I still think She-Hulk is a watchable. All right.
Oh yeah.
But with Secret Invasion, I went back and watched Captain Marvel. But knowing that the Marvels is coming out later this year, I want to go back and watch Miss Marvel again. And I think it's kind of cool coming at these shows and movie from a different angle than, from a place of like blocking the haters all over the place. And I'm like, no, this is a good movie. Like, I finally get to watch something without being in like defense mode. Like, flip my card the other way. I want to actually watch it in the right way without thinking like, I could use this in a conversation online. Yeah, I'm kind of that guy. So
No, I'm curious in November, when November rolls around and we do the it's November, right? Yeah. And when we do the Marvels preview, how that's going to go, because I haven't seen Captain Marvel since its theater run. And I remember, and I saw it twice. I saw it twice in theaters, and I remember not liking it both times. So I'm curious if that's going to change. Miss Marvel, though, I did enjoy. I know it's not for everybody, and I will say it still has a lot of issues, but I overall enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. So I'm curious to see how that goes.
I watched episode 1. I will say that. So like,
highest rated episode.
It was a good episode. I think I've kind of just been like I want to watch it as close to the Marvels as I could, and I think that was my whole like mentality going into it, because it's like, oh, I'm gonna watch this, and then boom, I'm gonna have to wait like a year and a half for the Marvels.
Isn't that okay?
I mean, it's not bad, but like I don't know. I just didn't really feel like I was in a rush to watch.
I think that's fine though. You know, sometimes I feel like we watch a lot of these things, shows, movies, and they come out and we just feel the need, podcasting aside, right? We want to talk about everything that's new, news, all the relevant stuff. But with the MCU, you still have that expectation that something is going to be shown and it's going to connect somewhere. They've kind of flopped on that a little bit, where we still have a lot of, probably more loose ends in this saga than ever before, in a way. Shout out to the Incredible Hulk, actually, 15 years ago. There's still a lot that they need to do from that movie. But I think it's okay if you didn't watch Miss Marvel and you watch it before the Marvels come out. I think it's okay if you wait to stack these shows and you don't watch them weekly and then you just binge them all at once. Like, that's how you consume it. That's a preference. And I think do whatever is most enjoyable. So I'm all for it. I just think they should be watched at some. If you're a fan of the MCU, I think you should watch everything at some point. But I don't think there's a pressure of like, you didn't watch it when episode 1 and it released on Wednesday night at 3 a.m. No.
Man, I've never waited for a single MCU show to watch to drop at 3 a.m. It's honestly ridiculous. That's so early. That's too late to be up just to watch 30 minutes or an hour. I can't do that.
During COVID, I did stay up when they teased what I thought at the time was either Ultron or the Fantastic Four were going to show up. So I'll admit that there was a few times I did that during 2020 when WandaVision came. I was like, oh
WandaVision
my God,
got me by the grasp with that. Oh my God.
Yeah, I almost did it for Loki, actually. But then I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to
I would have done it for Loki. Knowing the last episode would have been the last episode, I probably would have been like, ooh, I'm going to watch that 2-3 times before breakfast is done.
Yeah. Speaking of staying up late for midnight releases, something that everybody used to do, going early to the theaters now is kind of on a Thursday, catching it. One movie I think we can all say we will not be watching Thursday when it comes out, the Friday that it comes out, the Saturday or Sunday that it comes out. Probably not until it comes 3 weekends after and it's $5 in the, local theater. El Muerto. I don't know if you guys saw, but that Spider-Man spinoff with international sensation and WWE superstar Bad Bunny.
WWE superstar. Bro, he went off in Puerto Rico though. All right. Damian Priest said what's up.
Did. So
just fair. It's fair.
That spinoff has been removed from Sony's release calendar according to multiple sources. But don't get too excited, because I don't necessarily think that means they have stopped production or even necessarily don't want to make this movie.
I agree with that. I think that they're smart, unlike, DC, WBD, whatever you want to call them. Pull something off, fix it. What if we saw him in kind of like a Beyond the Spider-Verse aspect? Or they went the animated route, or they took some of that story and like kind of did a spin-off animated limited run series or something. Would you guys be more open to watching it? Still without any Spider-Man tie.
This guy doesn't deserve a movie. I don't care what anybody said. He's had 2 comic appearances. And there's just so many other characters they could use.
Yeah.
To make a movie out of a Spider-Man like rogue. Like if anything, like include him in someone else's movie. Like a Craven, like Craven's got Rhino going on with it. Why not have El Muerto in like a secondary? Like you do like Shocker and Elmo. I don't even know freaking. Anybody else?
I just want to know Sony's thought process, right? Because at least with Craven, Venom, Morbius, those are at least somewhat recognizable Spider-Man villains. Like if you know about comics, you kind of know about them. Or if you've watched like shows, with Spider-Man, at some point you've seen those characters. With El Muerto, close to nobody knows. Even comic people, when they announced that, they were like, "Who?" And I just want to know why they decide, let's make a movie out of him. Character with 2 comic appearances, but then still want to connect it as a Spider-Man spin-off, right? Because they're not even doing it as like hey, let's make it its own completely just standalone thing.
Yeah.
Away from Spider-Man. No, they make it a point for you to know that this is a spin-off movie.
Yeah. I don't know. I think your best bet that you keep it animated. You do a spin-off. One of the spiders who are chasing after Miles in the Citadel jumps into a portal, and he's the spider that El Muerto ends up. I don't know. There's no point to his story, but Craven. Is there a point to a Craven story? Shout out to Sony making another super villain, an anti-hero for whatever reason, and attaching it to whichever spider universe they apparently decided needs to exist in.
Yeah.
It's Sony, man. I think I've just learned to there's got to be some reason they're making all these anti-heroes and all this stuff that nobody wants to see without a Spider-Man. So I've just come to the conclusion, let them try to cook and just see what happens. Like, I'll go see Craven in theater. Actually, I still haven't even seen Morbius yet. That's another thing.
No, bro. Morbius never piqued my interest. When I saw the trailers and he's zapping around and he's somehow connected to the Venomverse, I'm like, this character's so off. If they should ever share the screen together, it's gonna be terrible. But Craven, though, Aaron Taylor Johnson, I don't know. He looks pretty. I mean, if you guys watch Bullet Train, he looks fresh in a button down, right? If he's doing his thing. Plus Russell Crowe, I like the people that are in it. I'm just curious how they tell that story.
It has a better cast,
Sometimes
it has a better cast. And I've ragged on the decision to make Craven, and I do still think it won't be good. But I mean, for some people, the trailer has raised their hopes for the movie, which is, hey, if Sony was able to do that, then good for them. That's a win on their part. And I'd love to be wrong. I'd love for that movie to come out and just be a banger action movie, if that's what they just want that to be.
Does it make more in the box office than Flash?
No.
Can it?
I think it can.
No. I don't know if it can.
I feel like any movie can make more money than The Flash.
Flash is projecting 300 mil.
Oh wait, okay. Honestly,
not like
you're asking like opening weekend.
No.
Overall. Yeah.
It could be a better movie, and it's not
I don't
going
know.
to.
I don't know.
You say Craven, and people are gonna be like, "Are you hungry?" And they're like, "No, I don't know." Like, the cereal.
Is this a Burger King ad?
Yeah. No.
Speaking of ads, I was on YouTube today, and I got a ad for Crunchyroll. And
Sorry.
Crunchyroll, that just reminded me of the fact that Crunchyroll added 15 Dragon Ball movies to their catalog. And it is basically all the classic ones. It is Dead Zone, World's Strongest, Tree of Might, Lord Slug, Cooler's Revenge, Return of Cooler, Super Android 13, Broly, BoJack Unbound, Broly the Second Coming. We're gonna skip Bio Broly, but Bio Broly, Fusion Reborn, Wrath of the Dragon, and then they are adding the 2 out of the 3 super movies.
Yeah.
With Resurrection F and Dragon Ball Super Broly.
One of the greatest.
Wait, technically
Movies.
there's 4 super movies.
You're
There's
right.
Battle
my
of the
bad.
Gods, Resurrection F, Broly, and then
Superhero.
Gohan's, whatever.
Yeah, Superhero.
Yeah. Dude,
I
that's
will be binging those in order.
literal chills as you're naming off the list, and just me re-hearing the names. Like I goosebumps thinking about it.
We can definitely do a deeper dive in another podcast episode one day. But right off the bat, what's your favorite one? Or which? Okay, give me 2 answers. Which one's your favorite one? Which ones do you have the most fond memory of?
I mean, I'm ready to go, Spider-Man now. So I mean, if you want to...
I got my favorite. Probably Broly. The new wait. Are you to? We need to define this.
That's tough. The newest super
Yeah.
Super
Super
Really?
Brawly or Z.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you just asking like favorite Dragon Ball movie or just like old?
Yeah, out of all of them.
Out of
Favorite
all?
Dragon Ball movie. And then the one you have the most.
I think it's
fond
Broly
memories.
or Super Broly, just because that movie was so heat. But like, I want to say the OG Broly also. My fondest memories is gotta be Cooler's Revenge. I don't know why that movie just like
The
it
soundtrack.
just stuck with
Oh,
me.
it's so good.
One of my good friends, whenever he'd sleep over, we would just watch that movie. It was either that or Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, and just on a repeat. Or Spider-Man
Oh, that's
2.
a good one. That's a good
It
one.
was any of those 3 movies. We
That's
just binged the entire time, and freaking Cooler. I had the action figure for King Cold, and then for Cooler, and Cooler's second form specifically. Wow, that thing was so fun to play with, and it was
So
like
awesome, bro.
it was ginormous too.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
fucking.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I want a Cooler pop now.
Yo, speaking of pops, I sent it to you guys on Instagram. Did you see the leaks of the Ginyu Force?
Oh,
There's listings for the Ginyu Force, which I'm so excited for.
wow. Do I need to go on to Instagram?
They
I do.
didn't show pictures. They just showed like a listing target system. But Ginyu Force go. Ginyu Force rules.
Big fan.
I'm a big
I
fan.
believe, unless you guys got your hands on some of the Target Spider-Verse drops, or Spider-Verse
No.
drops today.
I'll find them in store.
I
To be honest,
completely forgot to look online.
you'll find them in store.
Yeah, they'll stay.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
now my freaking Target. I gotta I have to know when they get them in stock to be able to get them or to find them in stores.
If anything, we
They'll
got
have
you, man.
so fast.
Yeah. Just
We got you.
Oh yeah, that's true. Hook
Alright.
me up.
Lou, favorite and then most fond.
favorite. I'm gonna go Ty, Cooler's Revenge, and then Super Brawly. That was just epic. That was mind blowing. But the most fond I have is actually Tree of Might, because I didn't know
Oh, really?
they got me. They got me back in Toonami days when they first showed it. When it was like the special. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're looking at the TV guide and there's a full block, and you're just like, this is a movie. What is it? And it was a Dragon Ball Z movie, and I was like, what? And I was like, this looks like Goku, but it's not Goku. What is going on?
You have to. Toonami did so much for Dragon Ball, I think. When I think Toonami, I think Dragon Ball, and I know a lot of people think different anime, but man, the the trailers that Toonami would play for the movies
So good.
of Dragon Ball, they were
was an event.
amazing.
It was an event.
It felt like they were like, yo, if you miss out this Saturday, you're a loser.
Yep.
Because everybody and their mother's watching Dragon Ball tonight. So if you don't, you're out. You're not cool.
No, the family's like, we're gonna go for dinner, and I'm like, oh, I'm sick. I just threw up everywhere, and I gotta watch TV now.
Yeah. I need to go watch Toonami, please, because I need to go watch.
I don't feel
Slug.
well.
I need to go watch Lord Slug, even though some of them they're hit or miss. Some of these movies, but they're still just so much fun to go back and watch.
Yeah, I agree. I have a couple quick hitters for you guys before we jump to our podcast. Just quick thoughts. Couple Flash things. I know it's a real big switch of the gears, but I think it's still important we talk about Flash a little bit here. Do we think this is something I've seen on the internet? Great place. If you haven't been there before, prepared to get upset. But did the Flash tarnish the legacy of Man of Steel? I need to know what you guys think about this because I've been going back and forth for a few days on this.
I'm gonna say no.
Oh.
I'm gonna say no because after I think about the Flash, I'm like, man, I want to go watch Man of Steel instead.
That's fair.
I think no. Also, I haven't seen Man of Steel in a very, very long time, but I feel like just the ending of Flash makes you realize like you kind of need like all that stuff to happen for a world to survive. So
interesting. Okay. Secret Invasion episode 1 got an 8.2 out of 10 on IMDb. Do you guys think that's a fair score for an opening episode?
Stay tuned to the podcast.
Oh,
what he
well
said.
said. Yeah, fair. Did you guys like the AI opening?
Yes.
Hot topic.
Yes.
I liked it.
Stay tuned.
Dude, yeah, I liked it too.
I thought it was cool. I mean, like, there has to be a clear definition that everybody thinks just they put it into an AI bot that make green colors, make this, and then boom, the whole sequence came out by some algorithm. But there was a team behind it, and it wasn't all just AI. And that's what everyone has been bashing on Marvel for using AI. Meanwhile, there's still plenty of people that got credited for the intro sequence in the credits.
Fair.
People still got jobs for it. There was producers, there was directors, and I think there was a writer, if I remember the article that I read correctly on Polygon. But I do know there's producers and a director on it.
Mm-hmm.
And they used a custom built AI. They didn't just go into just any old, one they found on Google and said, hey, make Secret Invasion, please. No, they built this. So it's not as clear cut as people think. That's why you need to do your research.
Yeah, all they did was just use the AI to like distort the images that they had made and make it like all funky and as they made it, which I think fits the show perfectly. Like it fits. I thought it was such a cool intro to like wow, I was so ready to dive into it.
I love it. That is why that right there, that whole little end sequence, if you're watching this, that is why these two gentlemen here are fantastic. It's why we love doing this podcast. That's why we came together as a group, because there's always something under the surface. It is not as cut and dry as you see on the internet in the comment section with 200 characters. It's just not the way that it rolls. And here at the Point 3 podcast, it's our experience with these projects and these creations, what it makes us feel and what it makes us think and how we go about it, just to present it to you guys so then we can create that conversation so you come to your own conclusion. Do you like the AI? Even knowing that additional piece, is it still something you like? If it's not, that's okay. If it is, fantastic. Maybe we get more in the future, but it's just a way that you can just add some perspective to what's being thrown in your face from one picture and a caption that gives no insight whatsoever. And with that, we're going to head over to our podcast. Definitely check it out. It should be releasing here in the next 72 hours. Stay tuned to Instagram, TikTok to get notifications for when we do drop that episode. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and we will see you in the next live stream. Peace.